What is going on, everyone? We are about to get into Jordan Peterson destroys Tom Ballard. This is going to be part 2, okay? I had to stop the first time or whatever in the middle of it, but we're going to finish out this one as part 2. All right, let's check it out.
Can't get work, university education's unaffordable. Like, there are these huge, massive problems in society and the political economy that are also going to, screw us over in the big picture that the clean room isn't going to necessarily fix.
If you're going to fix complicated problems, you have to learn how to fix simple problems first. Then you get good at it. I'm not saying that young people don't have things to be concerned about, because life is a concern, right? I mean, life is a fatal disease. It's a concern. You're not on top of it. There's always more challenge than you can take on in some sense. But complaining about the structure...
As I said, life is a fatal disease. Do y'all agree with that?
of being and attempting to reorganize massive social structures, especially when you don't know the first thing about them, which is generally the case, is just not advisable. And the universities, they teach young kids, young people, 19, 20 years old, that they should be out attempting to rectify massive social organizations. It's like, you wouldn't go and try to fix a cruise ship. Things are complicated. You can't set your own room in order. You can't set your own family, your life in order. What the hell makes you think you're ready to take on something like the political system? That's hard. You're going to mess it up, man, for sure.
I feel like now's a good time to let you know that the ABC is the...
I definitely feel like it's already messed up, and it's been messed up for quite some time.
The home of postmodernism and neo-Marxist thought. And I've just got our equity and diversity plan here.
Oh, I see. That's nice. You've got a little hammer and sickle on there, and that's quite cute.
The ABC's equity and diversity plan for 2016 to 2018 has targets of 50% women senior executives and 20% women technologists. Is that bad?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the game of dividing human beings up by their group identity ends in disaster, no matter who plays it and no matter what the reasons are. That doesn't mean that, in principle it might... Perhaps, who the hell knows? I don't know the internal workings of ABC. Maybe it would be better if 20% of the women were technologists. Maybe it's a radically misogynist organization. I tend to doubt it, but perhaps it is, and perhaps that should be rectified. But these sorts of quotas, they're a terrible idea for 50 different reasons.
What about looking back over history? You've written the idea that women were oppressed throughout history is an appalling theory. They haven't had a great time, though, have they?
Who has had a great time in history?
But men have had less of a
Really, have
time.
they? Have they? By what standard? By what standard?
Well, I'm just saying, if you're a woman...
How about war?
But it took longer for women to get the vote, and women belong to their husbands, and in this country, one woman dies every week from domestic violence, a man dies like once a month, I believe, from that same cause. Like, aren't there some clearly obvious things that women are victim of as a result of their gender?
There are inequalities in the catastrophes that the genders are subject to. And so, look, first of all, there's some things we got to get straight. History's a rough business. Everybody had it rough. In 1895, the typical Westerner lived on less than $1 a day, which...
That's what I'm talking about. Keep it G. Keep it G. A great time? I mean, come on. People have great times, but to have a great time and just what? No, it's stuff that we admire as far as what they give us as good news. But we never know what's under the surface until it's spoken on.
Which is absolute poverty by today's standards, right? And so people were brutally poor for almost the entire course of human history. It was rough. You say, well, did men or women have it worse? It's like, well, that's a complicated question. But one of the things you can say is everybody had it pretty damn bad. And apart from the pure catastrophe of existence that was shared, say, more or less equally between the genders, like most of the time, men and women helped each other. Like, women raised their sons, husbands protected their families. I'm not buying this whole, the sexes have been at each other's throats the entire history of mankind. It's like, no, wrong. And then one level deeper than that, I don't like the whole game. The whole game is, let's divide people into groups and contrast their oppression. It's like, fine, play it, see what happens. You're not going to like it. We did that in the 20th century, right? The right-wingers played it in Nazi Germany, and the left-wingers played it throughout the communist world. And all that happened was that we stacked up the corpses, millions of them. It's not a good game. The equity game, that's a bad game.
Bad game?
Bad game.
You don't want to read this, just to be sure?
If it says equity, it's a bad game. Because it means equality of outcome.
Right.
Like equality of opportunity, anybody with any sense is for that.
For my bosses watching, I have read this, and I fully endorse its message, and will continue the crusade, comrades.
Who did the little cover design?
Michelle Guthrie.
No.
Yep.
Very funny.
Thank you.
Very funny.
Dr. Peterson, we're out of time. Thank you for destroying me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the interview.
Of course. Enjoy your time in Australia.
Thank you very much.
Wow. That was interesting. You know what I'm saying? It always takes some people or a few people to have the tough message that's placed in their heart to tell. You know what I'm saying? So I always think it's important that we support messages as logically as we possibly can. All right. Till next time, thank you for joining. Check out the video that's popping up on your screen right now. We're just gonna go with destroy. Type destroy right now in the comments if you made it this far. All right. I don't even think it was that bad. I think this is a title catcher. All right. I am your girl InAVeeCoop, down piece in InAVeeCoop to be exact, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining.